Hello everybody and welcome to the meeting. Your chairman for the day is someone in a white robe and hood. No, this is Dakian speaking, and it is today Monday the 24th of April 2017, and it's time for another update about the painting that I've done the past week. And I'm starting with these Cultists from Blind Becker Miniatures. And as you can see, I've painted them in just plain white because that was how they were painted on the website. Because I felt like I needed a challenge. I mean, I've done Cultists in red robes before. I've done Cultists in yellow robes and purple robes and a lot of different colors of robes, but white is difficult. Getting white to look interesting and not just washed out. So I've gone for a sort of dirty white color here with a lot of gray shadows for contrast. And yeah, this is an interesting group of cultists. Some of them very heavily armed. We have a rather heavy machine gun on this guy. And we have this guy with dual-wielding Tommy guns. That's interesting. And here we have the master of the cult with his little throne. In the back rank, we have some perhaps even more interesting guys. Let's see if I can just move these out of the way and push them forward. That's one way of doing it, so they're in focus. I kind of like these even more. These are the guys who, he just got to the meeting from his day job, he just pulled on the hood, hasn't had time to dress up in the full robes, but he's got the book, presumably of evil, and the shotgun over his shoulder. So, he's ready to go. As this guy is probably just lazy, but he's packing a pistol, and also just a hood. This guy, though, I think, well, yeah, he has some sort of rifle or shotgun. This looks like a Winchester, probably. Yeah. And this guy didn't get the memo about hiding his face completely. And because his robes were dual layered, I thought, I'll paint the lower skirt a different color, just to make it a bit different. He's the only one who has this extra layer on him. And finally, we have, here's another one with a bit of the face showing, otherwise nothing special. A couple of kids, or midgets, who've been recruited into the cult. One carrying a big sack, the other just picking his nose and hiding a big knife behind his back. And finally, there's a female cultist. Some of the others might be female. The robes are kind of shapeless, so you can't really tell. But this is definitely a lady, and she's ready to put on the robe. She's got it over her shoulder there, but otherwise she's dressed for some reason in a tie. I don't know if women wore that in this period that much, but oh well. So these were fun and not too difficult. So this looks like a big batch of stuff done, but wait, there is more. And we've also completed these two minis. The cowboy and the, I don't know, steampunk Victorian sniper. Now, I did keep the blue on the vest from this guy. I said I wasn't sure about it, but I decided it looked cool. But otherwise, mostly muted colors. I'm overall happy with the I'm not so happy with the coat. The blending is not very subtle. It's kind of harsh contrasts. It works on the tabletop, but up close like this, it's kind of garish and obvious. But yeah. Now, as for this model, she has even less bright colors on her. This is because, as I said, she's kind of supposed to be a sniper. She wouldn't be wearing bright clothing realistically. She would try to blend in, and so. But I did try to get a bit of color variation in there anyway, and there are some similarities in colors. For example, her pants are, because these, in the Infamy game universe, these are related. This is her father. So their pants are the same color. And the two different browns I used for the leather, for boots and gloves and belts and so forth, are also the same. But otherwise they're a little bit different. He has the coat, she doesn't. He has the Prussian blue on some portions, and she does not. But anyway, they're complete. And as a final little surprise for you, I actually already finished these two guys. These are from those monsters from the Strange Aeons line. These two are the smaller ones, or well, at least the more humanoid ones. They're relatively easy to finish off. I mean, this one is just a series of washes, or glazes rather, over the translucent plastic. And this one was also pretty roughly painted. It's a rough sculpt. Not terribly exciting paint jobs, but you know, they're pretty basic minis. So, two more to add to the pile. So these hassle-free minis are primed and ready. Now, for two of them, the lunatic here and the zombified professor, you can see that I've pinned their feet and put them in corks. And I'm painting the bases separately. You might wonder why there's a total of 5 bases for 4 minis. That's because I mixed up a little bit too much green stuff, so I just made an extra base. The ladies, their feet and legs are too delicate to put pins in. So what I've done here, which is hopefully invisible, is simply trim down the tabs. I mean, for the dudes, I sawed off the tabs completely, and here I cut off most of it, and I trimmed down to just nubs, to just little pin-like nubs under their feet. And then I drilled slightly larger holes than normal into these bases, and I glued them in before priming. Hopefully this will be invisible. Not sure, the one place you might see it is a little bit here under the right foot, but I think it's relatively seamless. Attaching them before painting like this simply means I have to be more careful when painting the bases, especially when painting the parts of the feet and the base closest to each other. But I think I can manage that. Now, and I primed them white because, well, that's actually my default for painting human characters. White is my normal priming color. And I even primed these bases white because I plan on painting them as a white tiled floor. With some sort of sheen to it. You know, like some sort of institution, a morgue or something. Yeah. We'll see how that pans out. And here we have a collection of monstrous parts, assembled and primed. You can see that I haven't put the green clear plastic spit into that mouth yet. I'm going to paint it first, of course, before I assemble that. And here we have tentacles, little wormlings, and the Shoggoth. I mean, there's not much to say about these, really.
I'll just get right to it, shall I?
More and more new stuff needs to be added to the painting projects. So here we have another pile of blind beggar miniatures, and I thought I'd unbaggy them. This first little baggie is actually, I think I got it as part of one of the Innsmouth Kickstarters. Right, so these 4 robed figures were an add-on. They're known as the Dark Clergy, and they are heavily transformed. I mean, this one only has tentacles for a face. And I think this guy's name is Reggie. He's a hybrid, deep one, human hybrid. He was a stretch goal bonus mini. So those 5 will be getting done, and this collection of 5 I showed you recently, very recently I believe. Was it last week? I don't remember. These are the female gas mask wearing agents, and they're moving from new arrivals to being in the painting queue very, very rapidly. Right away. But they're not going alone. They will have a company of their male counterparts. And these were also, I don't recall if it was part of a Kickstarter or if they were add-ons. Let's see, face forward. These guys are armed and prepared for gas attacks, if they should come. Yeah. They're like men in black and women in black, except in a previous era. But now, especially these agents will be painted. They will paint. Well, it'll be speed painting, but it's not going to be as speedy as the Innsmouth crew, who are painted very, very roughly. But I need some miniatures to paint to a higher standard as well. So I don't have only speed painting projects. So I pulled out these. This is from a line of special edition miniatures called Giants in Miniature. It's by War Games Illustrated. As you can see from the picture, they're called the Disheveled Detective and Dr. Hamish. These are, of course, Sherlock Holmes and Watson from the movies with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. And this is what they look like. And as you can tell from the card, they're limited edition. Only 500 of these were ever made, and I've got number 82. And I got these some time ago, but I doubt there's less than 400 still left if you want to buy these. You can get them from War Games Illustrated or from North Star Miniatures. So, yeah. Those are the projects I'll be starting up until next week. And this week I'm going to show you another box of goodies from Reaper. Now, in this box, the special 25th anniversary mini I got was Tara the Silent. This was the model for March. You're going to see that I have not ordered anything during April because I wasn't really... the miniature for April, the month of April, didn't appeal to me. We'll see what they come up with for May. What else do we have here? We have a special edition miniature called General Drake. You can't really see much of him right now. because he's turning his back to us. We have some more zombie German soldiers to go with the ones I got in my last order. We have a Shadow Hound, which is in bones, which is in translucent plastic. And a monster called a Hound of Judgment. What's the doggies? A monster called a Zeshin Night Creeper. A bit difficult to see because he's in several pieces here. He's got loose arms. A Sasquatch. You'll notice the theme here. It's mostly monsters this time around. A Gug. An Eldritch Horror. The first overtly Lovecraftian monster. This is a classic Call of Cthulhu creature. And the reasoning behind all of these is that they can work in a Cthulhu setting as some sort of monster. And here's another Sasquatch. This one looks more like those pictures from sightings of Bigfoot, where he's just sort of sauntering around in the background of the forest. This one is more of an aggressive stance. What else do we have? Oh yes, and this is of course very Lovecraftian, the Hound of Tyndalos. And the last one, a Chupacabra with a goat that it's presumably eating. So that is a nice little collection of minis, and they will get painted soon because I am, as I mentioned, on this Cthulhu Lovecraftian theme for the beginning of this year, and at least I can say that these will get painted before I stop with that theme, before I go on to something else. Well, maybe not all of them. I mean, Tara is a fancy miniature, so she'll be put to one side and saved for when I go back to the fantasy theme. But otherwise, you know what I mean. Anyway, that was this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Click like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Dakian, and I'm signing off.